Dust is bad to breathe, and I wanted to have a good filtration system for the dual cyclone separators that I built in the last video. You can check it out here. And now in this video, I'm going to talk about how to build and attach some filters to get better quality filtration in your shop. And I really have two goals. My first goal is I would love HEPA quality filtration, but I might just do a step slightly down from it just because it's cheaper. And these filters from Wynn are really easy to actually clean out and reuse for a long time. And that way I can get a good value out of the money that I'm going to spend on them. My second goal is to make the system quieter. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I'm going to fail at that, but I am going to attempt to make it a little bit quieter. Now the concept and idea for this is really simple. The outlet of my blower is going to go into a box made out of wood. It's called a Plenum Box. And that's going to have a hole in the bottom for me to screw a filter onto. And then I'm going to have a second filter attached to it, and then a bucket on the bottom to catch any additional chips that happen to make it through the system. So I started by building the Plenum Box out of a piece of plywood. And there was nothing fancy about the dimensions that I used. I just made sure it was big enough for the filter to be able to fit on the bottom and the outlet of the blower motor to go onto one side. Now there's nothing wrong with pocket hole screws, and I decided to use these to hold the box together along with some wood glue. The filter is going to attach to the bottom of the Plenum Box, so I found the middle of it and roughly drew a 9-inch circle to kind of locate where the filter would attach to. This really didn't need any precision, and I just used my jigsaw to hack out the circle. Now I'm using two filters from Wynn Environmental, and this first one has a big flange on the top of it. And it also comes with cool clips to attach two of them together, and the other one has to not have a flange. So this is the second one I bought. I'll put a link in the description to these. So the bottom of my Plenum Box is basically the exact size of this flange, plus a little bit of spacing on the side where the blower outlet will come into it. I drilled a 1/4-inch hole and enlarged the wooden part to 5/16 to stick in these 1/4-20 T-nuts. For the blower outlet or the Plenum Box inlet, I used the gasket that came with my dust collector kind of as a template for the size of a hole and the location of the screws I would need to drill holes through. I did try to align the holes pretty well by using a drill to kind of pre-drill the exact locations, but I couldn't get to all the spots, and so some of the holes were slightly misaligned. I didn't explicitly say it earlier, but those T-nuts are on the inside to attach the filter on the outside. So I just used glue and those pocket hole screws to attach everything together, at least the main parts of the box that would be supporting most of the weight. The top of the box really wouldn't be supporting any weight, so I just used some glue and then some brad nails to hold it on together. I wanted to reduce some of the turbulence from the inlet into the Plenum Box, so I cut some 45s on a piece of scrap plywood, and then I glued and nailed in this on the back side of the box, and that way the entering air would hit this and not be too turbulent and then go down into the filter. I wanted to be able to remove the front just in case I had to make any changes or fix any problems. So I just screwed some pilot holes and planned to just use wood screws to hold this onto the front, and that way I could undo it, and I wasn't planning on gluing it at all. And next is my attempt to try and make it quieter. So I took some old carpet and I cut to size to fit inside the box and cut out the entrance and exit holes, and then just stapled it on. The removable front also had a piece of carpet on it too. I didn't attach the front, and that way I could go ahead and screw it onto my blower. Now the outlet to my blower had some threads in it, so I bought some longer screws to attach from the plywood side into the blower and just screw it on back together. I forgot to record me screwing the front on, but yeah, I put the front of the box on, and then I could go ahead and attach the filter. This was just a matter of screwing some 1/4-20 bolts into those threaded T-nuts that I put onto the inside of the box. Now, Wynn Environmental includes these small floating gear latches that are kind of like a pipe clamp that lets you really easily attach two filters together. And so I use those to attach the bottom filter. Okay, why am I using two filters? It's because Wynn Environmental recommends using one filter for about every 750 CFM of air movement from your blower. And my 3 horsepower blower should be putting, well, hopefully at least 1200, but maybe up to 1500 CFM. So that means 2 filters are appropriate for me. You probably could start with 1 if you really want. Now, I'm using 2 in a stack configuration, but that's because I have a lot of vertical space. If you have a smaller shop and you want to use 2, you can put them side by side and just use 2 with the flanges. So the other thing to talk about is the rating of these filters for filtration, and these are MERV 15, and HEPA is something like MERV 17, and the higher the MERV number, the better the filtration you get. Now, MERV 15 filters like these, they have the advantage of you can easily clean them. If you look at actual HEPA filters, they're really hard to clean or they'll fall apart really easily, and so basically they become MERV 15 anyways if you're going to be blowing a lot of air through them to clean them out and make them have a longer life. These should last me hopefully 3 years, maybe more. If you look at HEPA filters found on something like other cyclones that are sold that are rated HEPA, like Oneida's HEPA filters, they typically last maybe 2 years, 1 to 2 years. The same with other ones and other brands. I looked it up and they usually last about a year. And then you have to replace the whole filter. I want something I clean out and have last a long time. So that's why I went with this filter. I use Wynn Environmental because they have a lot of great information out there. And they are probably a little bit more expensive than some other places you could probably buy the equivalent filter. So really you can do your own research and get them wherever you feel like you want to get them from. The final piece of the puzzle is to add something to the bottom that you can easily remove to address any larger chips that fall out from the filter. And again, Wynn Environmental has a great set of instructions on how to turn a gamma seal lid into a easily removable dust collector thing at the bottom of the filters, which is attached with those same little hose clamp clips that they provide. I used a different brand than Gamma Seal that I bought at Home Depot, and I ended up just cutting out the entire middle of it because based on the size of the filter, that seemed to work fine. And you just attach those clips on the inside to the flange and don't tighten them too much. The mating part can go on the bucket, and then you have a way to easily screw the bucket on and off. So the last thing, did that carpet in the box actually make things quieter? And I just used an iPhone app to go ahead and test the decibels before and after I added the filter. And no, it really made no difference. I'm seeing it about 87 to 88 decibels, which is really just too high. I would like to spend some more time to try and figure out how to quiet the whole system down because it's way louder than it was before when I had it in a little closet. But can't win them all. Thanks, everyone.